All right, this is part 3 on the videos related to how to use journaling to get to your goals. And I'm recording this video outside, so I'm aware that there's some background noise, some birds chirping and some wind blowing. But I think with the microphone you can still hear me pretty clearly. And hopefully these background noises are not gonna bother you or really affect the quality of the video. So anyway, this is part 3. So if you've gotten here somehow without watching part 1 and 2, go back and watch the first 2 parts so that this part 3 makes sense to you. All right? So now that you're still here, in this video that is the final part of the series, I want to talk about a practical tip that you could add to your journaling process for the purpose of reaching the goals that you would like to become real. Okay? And this practical tip basically is to journal about your small wins or small milestones that you've crossed along the way of getting to your goals. And this is especially important with goals that are big and take a long time to achieve. Because what typically happens with these types of goals that take a long time to achieve is that for a lot of us, we lose interest or we lose motivation or that momentum along the way because the goal feels like it's taking too long and it's that still really far and there's still a long time to that we need to wait and a lot of actions to take to get to that goal. And if you remember the last video where I gave the example of the GPS, the car and all of that, one of the things you need for the car is the fuel to keep the car going, and this here is the motivation and the drive. Okay, so what I'm gonna be talking about here is how to use journaling to make sure that fuel is always there during the ride and the motivation is always there until you get to your goal. Okay, so journaling about small wins and milestones. Let's take a simple example that is like a physical goal. Let's suppose that you're a person that has a fitness goal of wanting to be able to run 15 kilometers 3 times a week. Okay, it's a very ambitious goal, at least for me. And today you maybe are a person that if you run 1 kilometer you're out of breath. Okay, so what are you gonna do in this case? And by the way, I chose this goal in particular is because this is a goal that is measured with numbers, so it's easy to track the progress. When you have numbers, it's easy to track certain milestones, but you can apply this on any type of goal. Okay, so this is your goal. You wanna run 15 kilometers 3 times a week, and you've gotten your journal, you've written about it the way we described in the first part. You wrote about how it looks like today. You're waking up early in the morning. You are feeling excited as you wake up. You go and you run 15 kilometers every couple of days, 3 times a week. You're writing about that. You're writing about how it feels when you're running, how you feel when you're done running, what satisfaction that is giving you, all of that in the present moment. That's gonna get you excited and amped up to start that goal. Okay, and then you start taking actions to get there. All right, so far this is stuff we all know. Now let's suppose that in a couple of weeks time you are already running 2 kilometers twice a week. Okay, so That is still far from 3 times a week of 15, but it is progress from 0, which is what you've already started. So here you've got two types of people. There's a type of people that may look at the goal and say, like, oh my God, I'm already tired and I'm still at 2 kilometers a week, that my goal is still really far. They start to feel like they want to give up, they get discouraged, and they stop working towards the goal. The other kind of people, or let's say the other way, is to make sure that this doesn't happen by journaling about this small achievement. Okay, so you get your journal and you write about what's going on today. You've ran 2 kilometers. You're running 2 kilometers every 2-3 days, and you run it with a positive. You write it, with a positive feeling that gets you excited. And you look back, coming from 0 to today, it's a great achievement. So you try to bring up as much positive feelings and as much self-motivation you can while writing, and you write about how did you feel to get to 2 kilometers? What did you do exactly to get to this stage? All right. And what are you going to keep doing in the future to get to the next milestone? What is the next milestone? Maybe it's running 3 kilometers instead of 2. So it should be like a relatively close milestone that you can reach easily. All right. So you write about that, you get excited, and trust me, this is gonna fill you up with a type of motivation, and you're gonna be like, yes, I'm gonna keep going. And writing about it really is much more effective than just thinking it. And you'll know what I mean when you try to journal, okay? So that is the fuel that's gonna keep you going towards your final goal, and before you know it, you're there. Okay, now this is the main reason, but there's another reason. Actually, it's not the main reason. This is the first reason why you have to journal about small achievements and write about them in a positive way and feel good about yourself for getting these small wins. But there's another deeper reason why I recommend that you do that. And the reason is, and this is a little bit related to mindset or attitude towards life in general, okay? So, if you are only gonna be happy and content when you reach your final goal, then you're wasting a lot of time. You're wasting a lot of precious days, weeks, and maybe months of your life waiting to reach a final goal before saying, I'll only be happy when I get to that goal. That is to me, it's a waste of life, because when you do get to that goal, you will feel happy for a while, and then that happiness is gonna start to fade, and then you're gonna want to set another goal after that. So my advice, don't link the positive feelings to reaching the final goal. Instead, link it to the journey. I know it's a cliche when you say it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, but this is true, and this is why it's true. So you celebrate these small wins, these small achievements, and you're feeling good about yourself and your progress the whole time. So, and then if for some reason you don't reach the goal, because maybe you realize along the way that this goal is, not so interesting to you anymore, you have different priorities in life, at least it wasn't a waste of time, because you've had already a lot of positive experiences, you've journaled a lot of good memories and everything, so it was in the end a positive experience, and something that was good for you, whether or not you have achieved your goal. Okay, so that is kind of a more philosophical reason and a deeper reason why you should journal about your small wins. All right, hope that made sense to you. Hope you liked this video. This was the part 3 finale on journaling and goal setting. In the next videos, I'm gonna move on to something else. Sorry, there's a fly here flying across my face. This is what happens when you shoot outdoors, but it's worth it. Anyways, I'm gonna move on to something else in the next videos. So I hope you've been enjoying the videos so far, and stay tuned for something new coming up. All right, take care.